All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update, and I am sorry that I do not have video on this particular video. I updated my Mac Mini, and for some reason, my iPhone is no longer connecting to the Mac for the video, so I have to figure that out. But I am in my studio today, and I wanted to get an update out. Now, if you're interested, I'm going to talk at the end a little bit about a health update. I did have my 6-month visit with the surgeon today, and I will talk about what I found out at that meeting today. But first up, let's talk about some DC stuff. There was this, I don't remember what outlet put this out, but it was the 100 most watched TV series of 2024 through 2025 so far across streaming, broadcast, cable. Squid Game leads this season's rankers. Okay, so what's interesting about this, you know what was not on this list of 100? Creature Commandos was nowhere to be found in the top 100. The only two shows that ranked, even for Max in general, one was The White Lotus around 20, and it was The Penguin around 60 or so. Outside of that, Max was nowhere to be found. Max is in trouble. And for the people who said that Creature Commandos did great with viewings, it did not. Not even close. Couldn't even make the top 100 programs. Seriously, and it's getting renewed. It's a joke. Warner Brothers is a joke. Also, I got this in the mail. It is a hardbound version of Superman for tomorrow. I own the original issues for this, but I did not want to take them out of their sleeves anymore. They're going to stay boxed up. And I just wanted to get this story in one compendium. This is pretty awesome because I was told this was used and it actually came new, which I absolutely love. Also, I thought this was very disappointing. This is Gunn being selfish again. DC Studios is going all in with Peacemaker Season 2 at Hall H for the San Diego Comic-Con. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow will be a no-show via The Hollywood Reporter. Okay, this is it's all the Gunn show. You know what? Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, they have filmed enough of this that they should get you excited for what's going to come next summer. Some little teaser. Even if it's only a little behind-the-scenes video showing something. You're going to be coming. This is going to happen after the release of Superman. If they were fully confident in their product, they're going to want to hype up their fan base and show something of what's coming next. Instead, they're going to focus it all on Peacemaker. They don't even talk about Lanterns here. That probably won't be shown there either, because Gunn is very selfish. It's all about him. Also, there's been a lot of talk about the CGI for this film. Now, someone showed me how they had filmed this practically, but if you look at his legs, this is actually from the practical part of the shot, but if you look at the length of his leg in that first photo, later on, when he's getting pushed backwards and they actually show the CGI part of it, it looks like his leg is like twice as long as his body. And yeah, some of it may have been filmed practically, but his legs are definitely CGI. And it looks terrible. Now again, I want to talk about this. This was everybody's biggest fear. Squad's back. Peacemaker Season 2 is set to bring more beloved characters from the Suicide Squad into the DCU. Now, at this point, this is just a rumor. And here's why this is bad, okay? They have been so wishy-washy on whether Season 1 is even canon. They've come so far as to say only the things that they mention are canon, which I think is ridiculous. Same with the Suicide Squad. When Gunn took over, what he should have done is a complete reboot. Get rid of everybody, start from scratch. I think people would have been more open to that. But what he did instead was pick and choose the projects that he's worked on and using the characters that he's worked on and worked them in and kept them but got rid of everybody else. Because it's all about Gunn. That was the worst possible scenario. Either you bring the old actors back and go in a different direction, which I am fully confident now that they didn't want to come back when they saw what they were doing, or you scrap the whole thing and start over, but he did the worst possible thing and pick and choose what he wants to bring in to his DCU. Very, very, very selfish. Now, I thought this was funny. This came from actually the McFarlane DC Multiverse on Facebook. And what's crazy about this is it says no refunds on collectible merchandise. Sorry for the inconvenience. And they're doing this in the face of Superman because I will tell you that James Gunn's projects, the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, the toys for those, could not sell off of the shelves. They had to go into discount stores. And I have a feeling they're afraid this is going to happen with the Superman stuff too. So there are going to be no refunds on collectible in certain stores. Now, this comes from James Gunn himself, talking about how important Superman is, on whether there's going to be a further DCU or not. Talking to IO9, Gunn admitted that making Superman had proven to be something of an overwhelming experience. I'm miserable, he said. Really, I'm miserable. But hopefully it's for the greater good. According to the site, while there's a plan in place for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Peacemaker Season 2, and Lanterns, if Superman bombs, well, that could be it for the DCU. A lot is riding on Superman, Gunn acknowledged. I mean, we're not going to just keep making movies. And I wonder how many bombs they're going to have before they get rid of Gunn. The Suicide Squad bombed. Nobody watched Creature Commandos. Even Peacemaker did not get all the views. It was not. I came across those investor, slides that are intellectual property for AT&T the other day, and I still went through them, and they don't even talk anywhere about Peacemaker. It was not the hit on the streaming platform that people made it out to be. Now, it was also noted the other day from DCU Superman News, and this comes from Daniel RPK, that Superman initially had an episodic structure, breaking the story up by days. It has reportedly been turned into a continuous single narrative in the final draft. I have a feeling that this movie is going to be somewhat of a narrative mess. I really do. Tickets go on sale. I'm going to try to see this early so that I only have to see it once. Get my review up before the official release on the 11th. I do have Prime, and I'm hoping to get a ticket to go see it 3 days early so I can be done with it, get my review up, and move on from this stupid movie. Also, according to the Snyder, Teen Titans will begin casting this fall. Now, this is all assuming that Superman will do well. And there's even some shills out there stating that Teen Titans would be a $1 billion box office hit. No, it won't. It's not the big juggernaut people think it is going to be. Now, I woke up to this morning. Warner Brothers Discovery is going to be split into two companies in early 2026. Streaming and studio will separate from global networks. So basically, they're going to take the new stuff, all the non-profitable stuff, and they're going to break it off into a different division, while the streaming and Warner Brothers movie studios stay by itself. So they're cutting off the fat. Wouldn't it be nice if life worked that way, to where we could say, hey, you know what? I don't like the debt that I have. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off and move that into another basket and not worry about it anymore. And I'm only going to stick with the income that I have and live with the good stuff. Wouldn't it be nice if life worked that way? It's like Warner Brothers is trying to will away their debt. And what ultimately is going to happen is they're going to end up having to sell off some of their IP. And who knows if, when they branch off, if that other company may just go bankrupt entirely. Here's what I do know about David Zaslav. He is a reality TV person. He has no business running a movie studio. He does not know what he is doing. All right, so one thing I wanted to share today that I thought was pretty dang funny, and this comes from a Parody account, but it says DC Studios is developing the adventures of James Gunn, the architect of DC. The animated show will follow James Gunn as the watcher of the DC universe. This project puts Wonder Woman on hold as the studio focuses on I didn't read the rest of it, but this is pretty funny stuff. I shared this. People were afraid it was real. A lot of people knew it was fake. It was just pretty funny stuff. I had to share this because it's so ridiculous with the way James Gunn has been with the marketing that people could actually see this happening. Now, there's more and more stuff that has been coming out from Superman, and they're showing a lot of clips from like the Daily Planet. And here's an article by Lois Lane that says Superman, friend or foe. They're basically, as Donatello Jose is noticing, so basically Batman versus Superman for the emotionally unstable group of people. And it's a dumbed-down version of the Batman versus Superman story and what was going on with Superman. So they're not going into fresh new territory. They're just dumbing down what's already been done. So here's the Hollywood Reporter talking about what I just discussed a little while ago, that the majority of Warner Brothers Discovery's $37 billion in debt will be spun off with its TV networks, its CEO says. Which is interesting. Like I said, this is the whole point in doing this, so that they have one company that's going to look profitable and one that's not. And that's not how this works. We'll see if this will even go through, if it's legal, and what they're going to have to do they still got to deal with that debt, which is going to be interesting. All right, so I'm over on James Gunn's page, and we want to take a look at this here. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, it's time to look up. Superman is coming to a theater near you for early access screenings. Tickets go on sale tomorrow at 7 p.m. So early access, the showing is going to be on July 8th at 7 p.m. That's between Prime and Fandango. And so it's going to be interesting. I don't see any direct links to this. They're not giving you any links. When you click it, it doesn't really show anything. And so there's no direct link to this at this stage, so you're going to have to look back tomorrow. But Prime members are going to have a chance to see this movie early. Also, James Gunn posts a behind-the-scenes photo. Frank Grillo, happy birthday, buddy. At least this one, he's in it, but at least you see Frank Grillo, and it's not just James Gunn's mug front and center. This is the first time where I've seen James Gunn post a photo like this, and he isn't the main focal point. It's just freaking hilarious. All right, guys, so tell me, who's excited to see Superman? Who's going to pick up their tickets tomorrow and make this the hit it's supposed to be? All right, I have a feeling that the reason they're doing this is because they want to try and capture as many ticket sales ahead of time, because those are all going to count, because you're going to have to pay for those tickets. So they're really not opening on the 11th. They're opening early. What's going to happen here, though, is this is going to be during the time where Jurassic World is out, and that's going to overtake everything. I just don't think this movie's going to do nearly as well as they think it is, and they're going to do this to try and just watch. There's going to be reports tomorrow that people are trying to get tickets, and there's going to be all kinds of technical issues. It's going to happen, and they're going to do that for the news cycle, to be in the news. It's again to keep them front and center and people talking about it. And it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out, guys. We are basically 1 month away from this, and we can finally see whether this is going to be a hit or not. I still don't think it's going to be a hit. All right, guys, there's my update for the day. Chime out below if you're going to see this early. I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Warner Brothers splitting into two different companies, one profitable, one with a bunch of debt, and what they're going to do with that, and if it will even be legal to go through? Lots of moving parts right now. I do appreciate the support. We will see you on the next video.